Think that's air you're breathing now? Welcome back to Bizarre Podcast Dogs Must Die. My name is Grant. You can call him Chip. And we are continuing on watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable, episodes 17 through 19.
At the end of the last podcast, I brought up, like, hey, episode 17 is we're getting some more Rohan. We're getting an episode called Rohan Kishibe's Adventure. Mm-hmm. And when you read that title, you think this is going to be a gag episode. That sounds like a funny joke episode. But instead,
I hope you're ready for fucking lore. I hope you are ready to be jam-packed with exposition and the whole plot line for the rest of the season.
Yeah, this is the episode that sets up the rest of the show.
We don't have time for an OP. We don't have time for the end credits. It's just go time, motherfucker.
It is time to set up everything that's important in JoJo that hasn't already been set up in part 4.
God, this one is so stuffed. It's so stuffed. This is going to be a very long episode.
Yeah, it is. Especially when we've got fucking a special little boy to talk about after this.
God, I love the special little boy, but it's going to be an hour before we can talk to him.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so let's get going. Rohan Kishibe's Adventure. We start off with a shot of a map of Morioh.
With Koichi in front of it. And you think this is the same sort of flattening of space, the same sort of, I don't know, visual novel or JRPG thing we've had so many times. But it's actual representation of real space because he's walking in front of like a wayfinding sign in the shopping district.
Yep. I love it. Yeah, we get a nice close-up shot of this map, then Koichi walking in front of it, and as Koichi walks in front of it, he wipes to a camera angle further away to reveal that he is actually in front of a real physical map.
But yeah, as he's walking around downtown, Rohan is there, and he looks like he got an office job. He's like in a button-up shirt and like khakis or some shit. He's wearing a tie.
He's tucked that shirt into his khakis, like, yeah. Whenever Rohan changes outfits, he is always going to keep that like fountain pen nib motif because he's got like a pocket, like a chest pocket that is just that. It's sewn in that design.
It's where he keeps his spare nibs.
In case he needs to throw them as weapons.
But Rohan needs help. You see, he's looking for a particular place and is hoping that his best friend, Koichi, with his local knowledge, can help him find it. The place he's looking for is his childhood home. See, Rohan is so weird he had to come to Morioh, but he's so weird because he was born in Morioh.
Yeah, he moved away with his family to S City when he was about 4 years old, so he has very vague memories of Morioh. And I should also mention when Rohan appears, he doesn't go like, oh, hi, Koichi. He is just looming behind Koichi, like peeking from around the map like a fucking creep. And Koichi's reaction to Rohan going like, oh, hey, is to quiver in fear.
Yeah, I guess after defeating Heaven's Door, he got to keep all those memories he was losing at, the actual door. And so now, not a very positive opinion of this looming creepazoid.
Yeah. Rohan, tells Koichi, like, oh, no, don't worry. I got beaten up so good, I'm definitely nice now. I'm still a creep, but I'm not hostile towards you.
God, he gets so creepy in a minute. In a lot of minutes, this episode's so fucking stuffed. So while Rohan is looking for hints of memory, of anything that can help him find the place where he grew up, he's looking at this big, sign on the street showing all the local businesses and whatnot. And he points out a discrepancy. See, there is an alley plainly visible in real space that is not reflected on this map. And he thinks this is some weird shit. Whereas I would say this map isn't for sanitation workers to make their way through the city. There's no reason to put this map is for shoppers and tourists to get an idealized view of the layout.
But Rohan immediately is sniffing like something weird going on there. And that this alley is like between what they call an osen, which is just a real convenience like 7-Eleven type place in Japan, but it's called Tusen, I think. They just took a letter out.
Love it.
But yeah, there's an alleyway between Tusen or Osen and this other business that's not on the map. So it's just like, come on, Koichi, I need you to come with me.
And he guilt trips him into doing it, which works somehow.
Yeah. Koichi's really just like, no, I don't have time for this shit. And yeah, he just gets guilted into doing it, basically.
With no indication that this alley has anything to do with the place he's looking for, by the way.
Yeah, it's Rohan is just curious now. And so, yeah, after guilting Koichi's just like, fine, I'll come along with you for about like 5 minutes, but I really gotta go. And so they begin walking down this alleyway. Rohan's looking at his own personal map, which also does not reflect this alleyway. And this alley doesn't end in a dead end. It's not like sanitation. Like when you go down, it turns and there's like houses and a post box.
Yeah, there's a whole neighborhood back here, and it's not on the official like government authority street map that Rohan is so proud of either.
Yeah.
To which Koichi says, well, hey, you can just like tell the bookstore, maybe they'll give you some coupons.
Yeah.
He's so excited about vouchers.
We're basically going to be 3 episodes in a row where people get excited about vouchers and coupons, huh?
Yeah.
And Rohan's pissed and saying like, I don't think this mistake can be rectified with just a few coupons.
Oh, man, if I lived in this neighborhood with such like easy access to the shopping district, but, sort of nestled away from the street a little bit for privacy and to keep the noise out, I wouldn't want it on the map either. This is some prime shit. I want to live here.
Yeah, this is don't let anyone else know this place exists. Like, there's a vending machine right outside one of these people's houses.
Definitely don't use Rohan's real estate agent because he blabs to everybody, everything.
Yeah. So when they're walking down this alley, the camera focuses on something that seems completely not important, but it will be. Mm-hmm. There is a post box down this road, and right next to the post office is a dog poop that has been stepped on.
Yes. Like you might see walking through a town like this anywhere in the world any given day. Mm-hmm. So they're looking around these houses. There's one very spooky looking house.
Yeah, super abandoned.
That Koichi gets a little freaked out about, and we see like 3 or 4 shots of the house at once, like close-ups on different aspects arrayed in a panel border format, including the abandoned doghouse and a much closer shot of the dog collar like clipped to a lead attached to the doghouse. Where's Rocky? Yeah. The collar says Rocky. There's no Rocky. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Dog violence is afoot.
Oh, shit. It's been just a tiny bit since the dog's face got ripped off or something. So they continue walking down this alleyway, this neighborhood. This whole neighborhood is just dead. Mm-hmm. There's seemingly no one home in any of these houses. All the houses appear abandoned, even the ones that aren't in disrepair.
Well, it is a ghost street, after all. Ghost streets can refer to one of a few things. One of the more interesting ones that doesn't apply to this is buildings that are laid out in relationship to a form of transit that doesn't exist anymore. So sometimes if you're just like looking at satellite views of Los Angeles or whatever, you'll see just a diagonal strip through the street grid where a streetcar line used to be.
Oh, that's interesting. That's neat.
But ghost streets can also refer to intentional mistakes put into maps so that map makers know when they are being plagiarized.
Oh, huh.
Now, it's usually streets inserted on a map where a street doesn't actually exist, because that's the sort of mistake that doesn't make your map less usable, as opposed to what we have here, a street that does exist that isn't on maps.
Yeah. Huh. I never imagined that there would be that there were techniques like that to avoid map plagiarizers. That's neat. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, Rohan and Koichi keep walking down this street and going like, man, this whole place is really weird. What's going on here? And as they do that, they realize they are back where they were earlier, by the post box with the dog poop.
Yes, it's the exact same poop, and you can't step on the same poop twice.
Yeah.
It's like stepping through a river. It's never the same poop twice.
Yeah.
So obviously it is time to summon echoes and get a bird's eye view of the situation. And so Koichi summons echoes Act 1 intentionally. This is just a thing he can do.
He can actually pull out the different versions of his stand. I thought that was just an animation error many episodes ago, but he can just do that.
We rescind the accusation of fuck up. There we go.
Yep.
It's all good.
And yeah, basically anytime you see Act 1 get summoned for the rest of the anime, it's specifically because Act 1 has the longest range and he uses it for surveillance.
A range so long that he bonks into an invisible ceiling of some sort, so this isn't going to work either.
Yeah, there's something real funky going on. And as they're trying to figure out, like, what the fuck is going on here, something really suspicious, maybe we should, like, leave. A teenage girl appears behind them, just asking, like, yo, are you lost?
And Rohan freaks out. He shouts, a girl, like he's confused and suspicious that such a thing could exist. Is this like Friends? Is this something else that is not present in Pink Dark Boy?
Right?
There's no girls in it either.
Meanwhile, Koichi has the appropriate reaction of, she must be a stand user. Something fucky is going on. This road seems to loop infinitely, maybe. Here's another person. Fucking get him. And so, yeah, after Rohan freaks out at seeing a girl, he brings forth Heaven's Door, which actually has a physical form now.
Yeah, he brings it forth by just sketching in the air with a flurry of strokes and the sound of pencil on paper. The main character of Pink Dark Boy pops out.
Yeah, this little Koichi-sized dude with a trench coat. That is Heaven's Door now. And so he launches that attack towards this girl, and so she passes out. Her book face, flaps open.
Yeah, because the hand of the Pink Dark Boy, the body of Heaven's Door, like, launches and touches her on the temple, and she passes out and her book opens up. Maybe she's just looking for her lost dog. Rocky got out.
Maybe. And so before reading anything else in the book, Rohan just immediately writes in her margins, like, you can't beat us up. You can't beat us up. And then they actually start reading her pages and go like, oh wait, she's just a girl.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a stand.
Quote, oh dear, she's just an ordinary girl.
She wasn't going to hurt us at all. And then Rohan gets real creepazoid.
Oh,
because he starts.
Before we talk about this, there's a quick line earlier about how, again, we're maintaining the idea that Heaven's Door only works, or at least works best, on people who are quote unquote compatible with it.
Yeah.
And the wonderful line, it doesn't work on haters like Josuke who wouldn't know art if it kicked him in the groin.
Yeah. I love that that's like the big limitation of Heaven's Door. If you don't like manga, if you hate manga, it won't work on you.
It does not work on Philistines.
Yeah. That just tells me that Rohan would be utterly fucked if he went to certain regions of the world. Like, dude, if you're in like a real suburban area in America or something where it's older people who don't even know what the fuck anime is, your powers don't work on anybody. You go to Applebee's and someone tries to shoot you, you're getting shot.
What sort of art is Josuke into? Because everybody likes something. Like, we know he likes Gradius, so that's something to work from.
Yeah.
In an episode or two, he's going to talk about loving sneakers.
The amount that Josuke prides himself on his appearance, it feels like he would be into fashion, maybe?
I mean, absolutely. So if Heaven's Door were a fashion magazine...
Yeah.
he'd fall hard. So yeah, back to Rohan flipping through the lady pages. Don't like that I just said that. He discovers her name is Reimi Sugimoto. She's 16. She lives very nearby. And the first thing this grown adult man learns about this teenage girl is her measurements and that she's single.
Yeah.
Unless you're opening a dress store, you can fuck right off.
Yep. And also other creepazoid shit. Thankfully, Koichi is, the good nice boy and fucking screams at Rohan to fucking knock his shit off.
As soon as he starts talking about her first menstruation, he's like, shut the fuck up, dude. You need to stop.
Yeah, and Rohan's like reaction to being yelled at is just like, my bad, jeez. I was just having some fun.
I don't need to know that she was 11 when she got her first kiss and the dude slipped her his tongue. I don't need to know that.
Yeah, fucking gross, dude. Fucking stop.
Now that we have a name, let's talk about Raimi's look. I love her sleeve warmers that look like the ribbons that come up from ballet shoes, but it's on her arms.
Oh yeah. I really like Raimi's design. Her entire motif is just pink. Pink hair, pink dress, pink arm sleeve thingies.
Ribbons and bows everywhere. She's just adorable, honestly.
She's very cute. She's very cute in the non-creepy, not Rohan way.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's almost wearing Aerith's dress, but if it were a little shorter and with more bows.
Yeah.
More bows.
I also like her choker, which has like a metal clasp of two hands, like shaking hands.
Yeah, the clasp is cool.
It's
I like
very
that.
good. But yeah, she has a short, like above the shoulder cut, pink hair because everything's pink. Very sort of lemonade, sort of pale yellow hairband holding it out of her face. It's a good look.
Yeah, it's a good look. It's a really cute character design that also would be pretty easy to cosplay.
Yeah.
The hardest part is probably just dyeing the hair, honestly. And maybe finding those sleeve things that look close enough. But
I mean, if you're gonna go this, if you're gonna try to be accurate, you're gonna be making some stuff your own, and those would not be too hard to make.
But yeah, after Koichi fucking screams at Rohan, like he just shouts, "She's not a Stan user, so I forbid you from reading any more of her book." And so Rohan just goes, "Okay, all right, fun's over." And he just writes in her book one more time, just saying, "I will forget everything that just immediately happened." And so they just basically reset the conversation.
Yeah. Let's roll that back a bit. Start over from one. And she is just a bright ray of sunshine in their lives. She's the high school girl that everybody like immediately falls in love with in like their slice of life show, right?
The really friendly but like peppy one.
Yeah, there's a touch of whimsy. Like honestly, Aerith in the remake is not a bad comparison.
Yeah,
I can see her exclaiming shit if the ladder falls away just in time.
Yeah.
And the first thing she does is insist on everybody doing Pocky fortune telling.
Yes, yeah, she pulls out a pack of Pocky. The way you do this divination is each person grabs one end and then you just snap it, and whoever gets the shorter end, I believe, or the longer end, that's how you tell their fortune.
And the way it breaks shows that Rohan is going to get dumped. He's going to be rotten in love because he's so like self-centered and and proud. And he's like, "Hey, you shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
I listen to other people all the time. Like I listened to Koichi when he said he didn't want to come with me on this adventure. He still came with me because I'm such a cool guy.
Yup. I do love that the show does take multiple times to dunk on Rohan for being a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
It's not like the show wrote this asshole and went like, "Isn't he cool? Don't you want to be him?" It's like, no, he's fucking weird.
Everybody hates him. They just have to hang out with him because he won't take no for an answer, which is not a good thing in a guy.
Yeah. Rohan is like putting his arm around Koichi's shoulder going like, "That's a load of bullshit, right, Koichi? You came willingly."
And Koichi's like,
This dude's so petty. He immediately goes like, "You know what? I don't need Pocky to fucking tell your fortune. Your whole thing is that you're pink. You got pink nail polish, which means that you're afraid of falling in love. And at a crucial moment, you're going to miss out on your chance to, meet your one true love. Fuck you. It's psychology rather than fortune telling. I know how to profile people."
So she's like, "Okay, yeah, maybe. You want to hear a story?" You want to know what's even scarier than a dateless life, huh? Murder house.
So yeah, she's walking up to the house Koichi was looking at earlier, the spooky abandoned mansion, and she brings up that like, "Yeah, okay, here's a spooky story. There was a homicide here at this house 15 years ago."
Yeah, she introduces it as a story she heard from an old lady. So yeah, 15 years ago, there's this girl who's like sleeping soundly in her bed, safe in the knowledge that right beneath the bed is her beloved dog, her trusted companion. But she wakes up to hear this weird dripping noise, and it's starting to freak her out, and it keeps dripping and dripping for 10 minutes. She's listening to it and getting more and more scared until she wakes up the nerve to get out of bed, throw open the closet door, and that dripping is the blood draining from the neck of her dead dog.
The dog's been like hung up on a coat rack or something.
It's fucked up.
It is fucked up. You see the dog's head hanging by a thread.
And under the bed was the murderer.
No, they don't do that part.
No, they do. The murderer is under
they do
the
that part. The murderer is under the bed. I forgot.
And he's like, hey, kid, I killed your parents, and now I'm going to kill you, too.
Yeah. They do, when she's telling the story, they actually flip to some animated segments of the story she's telling, but it almost looks like a dramatic reenactment done for like a Lifetime true crime show or something.
Yeah, it's very Unsolved Mysteries, yes.
Yeah.
So back out of the story, Koichi and Rohan are like, they are frightened. It is an effectively told, scary story around the campfire or whatever. And she's like, haha, just kidding. Don't make fun of my nail polish, asshole.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love her.
Yeah, Raimi's fun. Yeah, after telling that story, Rohan has his back to this old abandoned house, and then he starts hearing a dripping noise, and he gets freaked out, and he slowly turns around, and in the yard, just beyond the gate to this house, is a dog sitting there with its neck, slashed completely open, and it's just dripping blood everywhere.
Yeah, like at least 2/3 of the way through the neck. I don't know how this head is still attached.
Yeah, this dog is acting like it's fine, by the way. Like, it's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm a dog.
So it turns out the whole just kidding thing is where she was actually kidding. It's a real story. By the way, she's a ghost.
She's a ghost,
She's a
and so is the
ghost.
dog.
Dog's a ghost.
And the dog's name is Arnold.
And so Rohan realizes in this moment one of the limits to Heaven's Door's abilities. It can only read the memory someone makes in life. So it didn't know she's dead. It certainly didn't know she's a ghost or anything that's happened in the last 15, 16 years.
And so, both Rohan and Koichi freak out like, oh shit, a ghost, which are real in JoJo now.
Yes! If vampires are real, you think ghosts aren't?
JoJo had just never gotten around to doing a ghost story yet, and now we got one.
I feel like if there weren't stands, and if the Hamon stories didn't accelerate so fast into like mega cars, we would have had some ghosts. We might have had some werewolves.
Oh yeah. Oh god, werewolves in JoJo would have been fun.
But we finally, by pumping the brakes by saying that no, this is a story about the weird adventures that teens get into after school. Now ghosts are on the table again.
Yeah, they're both freaking out that they're meeting two real live actual, well, not live, but real ghosts. Arnold walks over to Raimi to get some chin scratches, and
hell yeah, good boy.
She starts scratching the good boy's chin, and he's just gushing blood everywhere, just shooting gallons and gallons of blood all over the ground while she's scratching him. And while she's doing this, she tells Rohan and Koichi that, hey, you were able to walk into this alleyway, this place, because our wavelengths, whatever that is, are compatible. And where you are currently is the border between the living world and the afterlife.
Which is our first explanation into why Morioh is so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the arrow was here for a little while, and that has been attracting certain weirdos, but Morioh has clearly been weird for a long time before that.
Oh, yeah. It even before stands were in Morioh just seemingly is a place that is fucking haunted. It is a paranormal area that is haunted as heck.
So with that news, we get a quick break on that, a cliffhanger for the Echoes Act 1 title card. And then immediately Rohan is running as fast as he can, holding Koichi's hand, who is flailing behind him like a scarf in the wind.
Yeah, they're just booking it because Koichi is screaming his lungs out because it's like, oh fuck, this is like purgatory. That's a ghost. That dog's a ghost. Ah! And they keep
running past the same post box over and over again.
Yeah, it's just like they don't know how to get out. How the fuck do we, what do we do? And so Koichi tries to send out Echoes Act 1 again. And this time he hits an invisible wall but the invisible wall is the invisible ceiling is the ground they are standing on, and the camera like flips upside down, and now Koichi is upside down, floating in the air.
So yeah, the whole like folding in of space is in all three dimensions. There is no escape, which is when Raimi pops back out and is like, "Hey, all I did was tell you a story. You don't have to be afraid of me. I'm cool. We're cool."
Yeah, Raimi is constantly trying to assuage him that she's a nice ghost. She's not a murderous, scary ghost. She's just a girl.
She offers for like the third time, like, I know the way out. I can help you. Just chill.
Yeah.
But the price she demands is to tell the rest of her story. Because, you know, this ghost street, there are some people on her wavelength, but she's never found anyone who has gotten this far, who has seen her as a full apparition, who has heard this much of her story, and she needs the world to know what happened.
Yeah, and she also figures the reason why they're so compatible with her is because they have special powers in the form of stands.
How many times have we called stands ghosts, right?
Yeah, right?
It works.
They're close enough.
The main thrust of what is left to be told is that her killer still yet lives somewhere here in Morioh, and she wants them to tell someone who can catch him. She doesn't know shit about, like, stand warriors, so she's like, you need to tell the cops. Please tell them.
This bit here where Raimi is laying all this out, this starts to tie into stuff that we learned about Morioh much earlier in the show, such as, hey, isn't it weird that the amount of missing persons in Morioh is like 8 times the national rate?
Yeah, Raimi and Koichi have access to the same statistics.
Yeah.
She asks that as like a rhetorical question and then answers herself with the 8 times figure. And I'm just waiting for Koichi to be like, yeah, I know. I did a lot of homework one day.
Yeah. And so this guy that killed her, stabbed her in the back, murdered her. He's still out there, and he's a guy who she believes has completely blended into society, and he's never done anything to bring suspicion upon himself, and he is clearly still killing too.
There's a lot of moments in this episode that sum up Rohan in like a single second, and one of them is him just being like, not my problem.
Yeah.
You should probably just like get over being murdered and move on, because this is not my business.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write about this though. See ya.
Yeah, he says like, I think you should just give up this whole vengeance thing and just move on to the next to the next life. I think that's what a ghost should do.
But she continues like pleading and imploring, because here in the nexus point on this ghost alley, she can see all of the souls on their journey. And she knows that it is one killer at large because they all have the same deep wound on their backs that she has. And she like undoes her dress and it slides down a bit. And we do not see the scars down her back, but Rohan and Koichi do. And their reactions are horrifying.
Yeah, hands over their mouths, like tears welling in their eyes, like it's that bad.
And she talks about her fear of what can happen to her beloved Morioh. Like, if there's one thing Morioh has, it's total fucking freak shows. If there's 2 things Morioh has, it's incredible loyalty in its citizens.
Yeah.
We just have panning shot after panning shot of, streets and the town square and overhead views that we've all seen before of Morioh and its pleasant sunshine, ticky-tacky colors, but then an effect of like paper bursting into flame, right?
Yeah.
Revealing the dark, twisted Morioh beneath.
Yeah. Raimi's like beginning to cry at this point. She's very passionate about this, and asking like, if you two don't fucking find somebody who can help bring this killer to justice, who the fuck else is gonna?
Yeah.
Who's the next person that's gonna be able to see me as clearly as you guys do, who can actually have a full conversation with me? Like, come on.
Rohan, even at this point, is won over. Koichi, obviously, in a second, was like,
he wanted. Yeah. Like earlier, Koichi was about to just full on agree, and Rohan like puts his hands over his mouth and go like, no.
Oh, you need a good boy to do nice things? Yeah, I'm your man. But yeah, now Rohan is down. Pink Dark Boy is about to have a true detective arc. Look forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
So now it is time to get directions on the way out. They just have to go back the way they came and turn left and never turn back.
Yeah, don't look behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, right before this, Rohan is also won over, and he specifically says, yeah, I guess I'll do this. It'll be good material for my manga.
Mm-hmm. And Koichi just sort of whispers over to Raimi, like, do not trust this guy. He's in it for himself. You cannot rely on this man.
Yeah.
But yes, you can't look back. Raimi just loved Hadestown, all about it. And so they lead the way to, the corner down which the living may walk, but she cannot follow. And her walk cycle, unremarkable, perfectly fine. The dogs, though, looks rough.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be certain episodes from now on where you're going to see some rough stuff pop in every once in a while just because their production was like super tight on the second half of this show.
It's just the thing where the speed of the paws moving backward does not match the speed of the ground moving backward.
Yeah.
This is a very slippery dog.
It's a shame that the versions of the show that are on Netflix and basically every other streaming service are the ones that aired on TV and not the Blu-ray episodes, which got cleaned up more. Rohan and Koichi are beginning to follow Raimi and Arnold, and the instant they start going down this road, both of them feel something super creepy behind them that's following them.
Yeah, there's a dark, ominous presence. We see it in the lighting. We see it like around the edges of the frame, but we're just as blind to it as the characters as they're looking forward. They just got to get to the end of the alley without turning around, because if they turn around, their souls will be trapped forever, and that's bad. But it just ramps up the tension and goes horror in the way that JoJo's does so effectively so many times, right? Every few seconds, there's a new element that is building this tension. The sounds of ghost breathing, a warm, sticky ooze going down Koichi's neck.
Yeah, I love that part.
It's fucking gross. That's the point that convinces him to be like, oh, I just got to get down there. I will full on sprint. That is my strategy.
Yeah. And so Koichi sprints all the way down. There's like this light at the end of the tunnel, basically. And he stops and he hears Raimi saying like, you made it. You can turn around now. And the real Raimi is like, don't fucking do that. That's the fucking spooky thing, pretending to be me.
He is tricked by ghost ventriloquism.
Yeah. And so it's too late. Koichi has turned around and looked back. And there's just a massive black void behind them with hundreds of super long arms.
And all of these arms, all these hands grab at many different parts of Koichi's body to pull him back. One of them grabs his head and rips Echoes out of him to pull Echoes separately.
Yeah, and so Koichi's about to get pulled into hell, basically.
And that is when Heaven's Door pops out and removes his sight, keeping him safe. Rohan's like, oh, this is the rules? I can rules lawyer this shit.
Yeah.
Can't look back if you're blind.
Yeah, Rohan, in a really funny line, especially when you hear it out of context, he says, I'm using Heaven's Door to remove your sense of sight. You're welcome.
That is exactly Rohan's character, the you're welcome bit.
Yeah. And so Koichi, now not being blind, can't get pulled into hell, into the afterlife, and so they both escape the alleyway, and, Rohan uses Heaven's Door again to restore Koichi's sight, as Koichi is freaking the fuck out because he's blind now.
And the alley is just gone. The two buildings are basically adjacent to one another. Raimi is there to sort of like congratulate them. I think Koichi and Raimi should date. That's where I'm at.
Oh, yeah.
And it's probably where I'm going to stay for the rest of part 4.
Here's my ghost girlfriend.
Right? You wouldn't know her. She lives in hell.
Yeah.
How come your girlfriend never comes to dances? It's a long story.
It's really long.
You want to meet her? She's at the 7-Eleven trying to like bum smokes off people.
If you're psychic enough, you can meet her.
So with the danger behind us, Rohan visits her grave, I guess in case he doubts the ghost. But
Yeah.
he says that he's not doubting. He just, likes to have, corroborating evidence. And he is immediately recognized by this old man tending all the gravestones. Mm-hmm. I guess this dude does read manga, unlike Josuke.
Yeah. Rohan is, visiting this grave, and this old man, when he recognizes Rohan, it's just like, oh, I remember you were 4 years old back then. It's I'm not surprised you don't remember this, but Rohan, when he was still living in Morioh, actually lived close to the Sugimoto household.
Yeah. Essentially, Raimi was his babysitter, or the whole Sugimoto family were watching him one day when Mr. and Mrs. Kishibe went out for something or other, and wouldn't you know it, that was the day.
Yup. Rohan was there.
Little baby Rohan is the only survivor of this triple murder, 4 if you count the dog, but the legal system doesn't. That's a separate crime.
Yeah. And Rohan's just sitting there hearing the story, sweating bullets.
He is only alive because Raimi snuck him out a window when things started going down, before she was discovered by the killer under her bed.
It happens a little fast. And it's kind of wild. It's oh shit, Rohan's also pretty important in this. But it's Rohan is clearly liked enough by the author to become one of the main cast now. More than the other people who've been beaten up and have become friends. Have become Rohan is basically the new member of the main cast now. But yeah, now that Rohan he has even more motivation now to actually solve this. Now that he basically owes his fucking life to Raimi.
Yeah, now there's something in it for him. So
yeah,
that's Rohan, baby.
That's Rohan, man. When Rohan learns this information, he leaves the graveyard, and we get the narrator introducing this alleyway as another urban legend, basically, of Morioh.
As Raimi is just hanging out there, being like, "Hey, I'll give you $20 if you buy me beer."
Yeah.
Whenever I see a 16-year-old outside a convenience store, that's what I think is happening. Yeah, quote, "If you ever find yourself wandering down this alley, you should never look back."
Yeah, it's called Ghost Girls Alley.
We get our landmark title card at the very end. There's just minutes left. And afterward, we cut toward the bros. Koichi is telling this story, and we arrive just in time for Okuyasu to say, "This cutie is just my type. If only I'd been born 15 years earlier."
Yeah, maybe you could have been murdered too.
Yeah, Okuyasu wants a relationship with no strings, because there is an end date on this.
Yeah. Koichi's telling this whole thing and his new mission in life essentially to Josuke and Okuyasu. And Josuke is just okay, but do we know at all if this murderer, the serial killer, uses a stand? Because if they don't, we need to leave this up to the authorities, because Jotaro and the Speedwagon Foundation only deal with shit that has to do with stands.
Yeah. Koichi has made a promise. He's made a pledge. He is all about it, while all the mentors obviously only care about stand business. They draw a hard line. And so the question before Josuke that is not underlined or highlighted as much as I wish it were is, where do you stand? You have a choice. What does protecting Morioh mean to you? Maybe that will be revisited in the future, but for now, I think it is a opportunity for a character moment that is a little dropped. But I can forgive it, because this episode is made from, I'd say, 1 or 2 chapters more than they should have.
Yeah, it's just the amount of material is not quite enough for 2 episodes, but it's definitely more than 1 episode.
Because we've described 2 good endings to this episode. There is more, and it's still very important.
Yeah. This is an episode that feels like if they could have gotten a bigger time slot for the episode, it should have been a 40-minute episode.
Yeah.
Or something. Because, Josuke's telling Koichi, we can't go chasing after every single criminal. The police must have been chasing after this guy for a while, right? They must be able to catch him eventually. Josuke does say, okay, we can try and, check this guy out a little bit, but let's take it slow and not do anything rash. And Josuke also says, it's not like we're just going to run into this guy in the middle of the street at any point, right? In a way where it feels like he's trying to command the guy to appear in front of them.
And it works.
And it works, just not immediately.
Because Koichi, they have some pleasantries. They say goodbye, and Koichi just wanders off into the street without looking both ways, and he nearly dies.
Yeah, he almost gets run over, and Josuke pulls him out of the way just in time.
By the collar of his jacket, which is, of course, knee height for Josuke, remember.
Yeah. And so, yeah, this kind of like white sports car that almost hit Koichi. Like the windows rolled down and Josuke just apologizes to the driver. Like, so sorry about that. Are you okay? But our bad. The guy driving this car says nothing. He just rolls up the window.
Not a fucking word. He just looks at them, looks away, rolls up the window in silence.
Now,
he does not care about the murder he almost did.
Yeah.
But once he's driving, he becomes very chatty. He's talking to a lady about his family history, about how, he's descended from samurai, but now he just has his modest business because things aren't, the way they used to be. They're driving over to his place, and it's Hand Guy.
It's motherfucking Hand Guy.
Motherfucking Hand Guy. We have a face. We're about to get his name. His name is Kira. It is written on the gate to his giant house.
Yeah, the family nameplate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going on and on about this stuff, and he's holding this woman's hand, which again, it's the camera framing and stuff is still trying to make it look like this is attached to a full woman.
Yeah.
And not just
all of the other body parts, they're supposed to all be there, but they're not.
And not just a hand that's been cut off a couple inches above the wrist. And like he's, daintily, holding this woman's hand and going like, "Hey, where's your imported watch I bought you? Oh, it must be in your purse or something. Maybe I guess it doesn't fit you. We'll get it refitted tomorrow." I'm so happy with how they with the voice actor they got for this dude for the English dub, because it conveys his character so fucking perfectly.
Yes. I forgot to look him up. I'm going to do that real quick.
Yeah.
You are not going to believe the fun fact I found about Shigechi's English voice.
I'm excited.
DC Douglas. What have you been up to in life? Oh my God, look at that face.
Whoa, look at him.
He looks like a magician.
Oh shit, he's motherfucking Wesker in Resident Evil.
That is, yeah.
He's Albert Wesker.
That's perfect. Yes.
So imagine an Albert Wesker style voice, but less straight up evil and more,
If Wesker was dating your daughter and he wanted you to really like him.
Yeah, it's like a shitty like trust fund kid who's really trying to play up that he's sophisticated and rich and classy. It's like that. It's like he's incredibly well spoken. He never trips over his words. He tries to be like a little more eloquent with his speech. Mm-hmm. This guy is saying all this stuff to this hand, and he parks in at his house, which is kind of like, an older traditional Japanese family house, kind of like the Cujo's house, actually.
Yeah.
And so he parks, he gets out, he opens up the passenger side door and to get the quote unquote lady out of the car. And you're just going like, "Oh, what are you, shy? What's wrong?" And he, pulls her hand out to gently pull her out of the car. And this is when the camera pulls out to reveal that it's just the hand and some of the arm. And it drips some blood on the seat. And he gets mad at the hand, like, "This is so fucking rude of you. I cannot believe this. You have to clean this mess up, miss."
Yeah. Oh God, this is when it becomes real creepy. As if the murder wasn't. But he demands his lady friend clean up the mess herself, which is essentially him like putting a wet wipe in the dismembered hand and then using his membered hands to use it as like a tool.
Yes.
He's invented the wet Swiffer, but instead of a bit of plastic, it's human body parts.
Yeah, and it's
it's so chiding this dead woman.
It's so fucked up. You get a close up of like the hand being basically just pushed into the car seat trying to wipe up the blood, and you hear like the bones in the hands like crunching and cracking as he's doing it.
But she does a very good job. The upholstery is immaculate.
Yeah. I should mention that like all the fingernails in these hands are still very well like manicured and painted and stuff. After he tells the hand brava, he's just kind of like whispers to the hand like, "I don't even remember your name." But you did a good job. And then he uses holding the hand still, he uses the hand to pick up, like scoop up the purse
Well, it's her purse. He's not going to carry her purse. She's perfectly capable of carrying her own purse.
Yeah. And then he begins to walk into the house just saying, like, let's cook dinner tonight. What's your best dish? And as he's walking into the house, that's when the camera pans over to the family nameplate, Kira. Like killer. Whoa.
Whoa. Some sort of killer man.
Whoa. And that is our introduction to Kira. It'll be a tiny bit longer before we get to see more of this dude, but oh man, this guy is fucked up.
And I'm thinking some of this could have been shunted into the next two-parter we're about to talk about, but the vibes would have been all wrong, right?
Oh, yeah.
The mood swing would have been something for even this show to deal with.
Essentially, the real introduction to the main villain of part 4 makes a lot more sense to be as the conclusion to
the ghost
Raimi
story.
Introducing. Yeah. Yeah, that is a jam-packed fucking episode. It took us an hour to talk about this 22-minute episode. There's so much happening in it.
Oh, it has 3 endings. It's fucking Return of the King in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I cannot believe. Credit to him, I guess, for being able to put that much in without it feeling even more disjointed and fast-paced. It's not that bad.
Raimi's personality and Rohan's as a semi-heroic figure coming out, being able to fit that in and not just have it just be steamrolled by exposition, also to their credit.
That must have been a really hard fucking episode to storyboard and pace out correctly. Damn.
So that brings us to episode 18, Shigechi's Harvest Part 1, which begins, as so many episodes seem to, with a bird's eye view of Town Square. And Koichi has become a broody superhero overnight. He's just monologuing about crime as a disease lurking beneath the skin of Morioh.
Yeah, Koichi has immediately been burdened with something similar to Batman's burden, but without the dead parents.
Koichi's journal, day 21.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry and generally a sweet boy, but I got angst.
There's a murderer out there. We need to catch him. This feels especially like Western superhero, monologues where he starts singing there's a fucking killer out there that we need to catch. And yet the general population doesn't even know he's out there. They're just unaware, buying their groceries, thinking about what they're going to have for dinner.
Which I would say is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
I'm glad people are just living happy lives.
Yeah.
I wish the murderer wasn't. I that is a problem that requires attention. But for everybody else, I'm cool with it.
Meanwhile, shit, Josuke's broke.
Yeah. He'll never get them cool shoes he wants.
He's only got 285 yen left in his bank account, which is basically $2.
Yeah, so he's at the ATM looking at his balance, and then there's a little guy.
There's a little guy
running around looking for pocket change that rolled beneath the ATM. What's up with that little guy?
He's got little legs. He's maybe 4 inches tall. He's the size of Kirby.
He's a little buck bumble. He's stripy. He got a proboscis.
Yeah, kind of Bumblebee-like, but running around upright like a man.
I love a little guy, so this is my favorite episode.
Oh, yeah. So this little guy has found a 1 yen coin underneath this trash can or whatever. It speaks. It's I found one, and it strikes a cool pose as it throws this coin up in the air, and it falls into his little coin slot on his forehead.
Meanwhile, we had the OP happen this time, so it's not... we got room to breathe in this episode. But he puts a coin in his little noggin slot, and then just pshoo, off he goes. He's the new main character. I love him forever.
And Josuke sees this and goes, what the fuck? That's clearly a stand. 2, hey, that's money. And so he starts just chasing after this little guy who runs pretty damn fast, about the same speed as a human, despite being so tiny. Running
through, the sidewalks. This little guy is dodging around ankles while Josuke has to deal with the whole person at his scale. But then there's another one. Joins up. They're running side by side. They're little buddies. And Okuyasu is in chase after this one.
Yep.
See, what happened was Okuyasu was at a vending machine, and he got himself a drink that he spilled on himself, and now he just wants revenge against the nearest creature.
Yeah. Josuke's just very confused because it's just you're screaming like it attacked you. Are you telling me these stands aren't attacking either of us and they're just running around with money on their heads? like more and more of these little guys who keep appearing, and all these guys have like 6 arms.
Yeah,
or 4 arms.
There's a full swarm of little fellas. When there's 1 or 2, they are drawn normally like everything else. But once we are in the dozens range, they are all like CG animated renders like pasted into the frame.
Yeah. Their little CG models are cute. They look like they're from a Dreamcast game.
They're very cute. And I do like, I would be curious about a test of just doing all stands that way to represent the otherworldliness and like there's something outside the norm. I don't know if it's what they should do, but I'd be interested if they tested it, you know?
Yeah. They also probably must have done tests for that at some point just because it could potentially save budget. Possibly, depending on how they were going to animate it.
But then the problem is so much of what stands do would break the models. You might be better off not having the models.
Yeah. They have followed this giant swarm of these little guys all the way out into through a bunch of trees and out into like a little park or like a little hill.
Yeah. They're all running to like this lake house set off away from the main drag.
Yeah. And they've all gathered in one spot, and they all eject their coins into a big pile
Just a big
on the
old
ground.
pile, big happy pile of jingly janglies. And we find the stand user, who is a happy little troll man.
Yeah.
He's a little roly-poly fella. You know, I haven't played Persona, but I know what Teddy looks like.
Yeah, he's the shape of Teddy, kind of. Wider at the bottom, though.
And he's got little spikes on his head, like your mechanic friend from KOTOR 2. He's got a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of Dathomir in him.
Yeah. This little roly-poly guy is thanking his stand, which he calls Harvest.
Yes. Harvest is named for the 1972 Neil Young album that is pretty good. Then some of the most famous Neil Young songs are on it.
Yeah. Josuke and Okuyasu are spying on this kid while hiding in some bushes, but they get caught. And the framing is like, here's a new guy to fight. Little guy suddenly appears very big and looming. He looks scary. And then that just fades away, and actually he's smiling. He's missing a bunch of teeth.
He doesn't just smile, he says, grin.
Yeah.
What a guy.
What a guy.
The whole time he's bopping around and talking, I'm thinking he's 6 years old. We're about to find out he's like 13 or 14.
Yeah, he's in 8th grade.
Fuck that. He is 6 years old.
Yeah, he's just a roly-poly 6-year-old. But yeah, his name is Shigechi.
His proper name is Shigeki Oyangu. He says, quote, "My mommy and daddy call me Shigeki because I'm their special little man."
Yeah, little
and that's
Shige
when I
or Shigechi.
fell in love.
Yeah, I think originally says they used to call me Little Shige, but once I grew up a little bit, they called me Shigechi because I'm a special little man.
He's their special little man. His parents talk about him the way I talk about my dog.
Yeah. And Shigechi is overjoyed that Josuke and Okuyasu can see his stand because, this is another person who doesn't know what stands are. They just have a weird power.
There's another magical little quote that's not in the episode. It's from like the director's write-up of the episode from the Blu-ray release or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Quote, "Shigechi is a funny little guy, don't you think?"
He is. It's true. So yeah, it's Josuke and Okuyasu show off their stands and go like, "Oh yeah, we have these powers too. They're called stand. Hello." And Shigechi immediately goes, "Oh my god, does that mean we're friends?" So Shigechi is that kid I think everyone had one of in their class, which was the kid who always had snot running down his face.
Absolutely, because it's true. He does constantly.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stop talking because now that he has friends, he has to tell them every single fact about his life. He tells them about his pet turtle named Gonda. He shows them a picture of his mother. The next thing that happens is his fucking like social security number and some blackmail on his dad, I swear.
And to keep up with the, I guess now tradition, everyone's got a hot mom. So when Shigechi shows off this picture of his mom, Okuyasu goes, "Damn, your mom's hot."
I think it's more that Okuyasu thinks every woman is hot. He's never seen a girl he wasn't into. He just loves women.
That's true.
He loves them, all of them.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe Okuyasu is one of those all women are queens type of guy.
So what they have here is a special little man who has piles and piles of pocket change because his stand harvest is a big old swarm. They don't say it like directly until part 2, but you can intuit by now. Its ability is like he just tells his stand, go find things that fit in category X, right?
Yeah.
And they will harvest them and go find as many as they can. And so Shigechi has been collecting coins.
Yeah, just spare change, just under shit or, just on the ground, wherever.
Because a policeman told him that he doesn't have to report lost money if it's under 100 yen, which means some like beat cop who doesn't know shit about stands, a little kid's like, hey, mister, I found a quarter. Do I have to turn that in? And he made up a bullshit rule.
Yeah. With the power of harvest, this is actually working out and being pretty lucrative for him.
Yeah.
He has found 120,000 yen, which is like over $1,000.
Just
US
the
dollars.
weight of that alone in coins.
Yeah. Like he's got he's got multiple like coffee tins just full of of coins to the brim. And so Josuke and Okuyasu both freak the fuck out, like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. They're like complimenting Shigechi, like, that's actually a really smart fucking thing to do. Your stand's really cool. And like, hey, it's actually a good thing you're doing for the community because you're finding all of this money and, putting it back into the economy.
Yeah. Josuke goes full like micro econ on him. Like, yes, clearing out couch cushions is going to save the nation of Japan.
Yeah. And as Josuke is saying this, Okuyasu is slowly backing out of the frame while dragging one foot on the ground.
This limping shuffle, just like whistling innocently. And yeah, he's got basically $1 worth of change under his shoe. He's trying to rob this kid. and Josuke just under his breath goes, you sneaky dick.
And yeah, so Okuyasu's conscious like, oh, geez, is that 350 yen coins? How did that get there? Damn. And Shigechi's just like, I'll give you half of all this money.
Because they're friends, and that's what friends are for. So our heroes immediately have a conference on whether to take advantage of the very simple boy.
Yeah.
He cannot handle 8th grade coursework. What is wrong with you?
Josuke is more on the side of good, where it's like he's very tempted to just take the money, but he's just like, this is wrong. I can't do this. And Okuyasu, meanwhile, is shedding tears about how
throwing
how
the
poor
money
he
at
is.
you. Just a huge jangly coffee can.
Yeah.
But Josuke has a plan to make everyone happy.
Oh, yeah.
Then we get our title card of Harvest. So, yes, the best way... The best way to build friendship among new friends is to start a small business together.
Yep.
In the same way that the best way to save your failing marriage is to have a baby, they are going to become business partners.
From the get-go, you can tell this is going to go real fucking bad. But like Josuke, they're all on a park bench now, and Josuke is saying like, we can't accept half of this money. You can't, it's not good to try and buy friendship with money. But hey, it's okay. We're already basically friends, and here's something better. Let's all make money together with a business proposition I just thought of.
Yeah, this whole lesson is Shigechi learning very valuable lessons about friendship, essentially.
Yeah.
What a friend is, what to expect from a friend, and how to treat a friend.
Yeah. So here's Josuke's plan. Collecting all these coins has worked out pretty good, but these are really small denominations. There's other ways to make money. There's lots of convenience stores and other places that when you buy a certain amount of stuff from some stores, you might get like a coupon, or you might get like from this one convenience store, they give out little stamps that you can bring back, and you'll get $1, like 100 yen back in cash.
Fill up a stamp book, you get cash back. Hooray.
Yeah. Lots of people just either drop these or they just throw them away because they can't be bothered. So what if we have Harvest fly out to grab all of these coupons and stamps and all these other things that can be redeemed for cash value in some way?
They are going to scrounge for punch cards, essentially.
Yeah.
So it works. Just huge piles of all these like customer loyalty program bits and bobs. And I have never in my life seen someone so excited to get a free 6-inch sub as Okuyasu and Josuke as the stamps keep piling up.
Also, I just love, like, you see multiple shots, like, all over Morioh. There are dozens of Harvest running around, speaking in 1 or 2, maybe 3-word sentences, just like, coupon, I found it, coupon. And, like, they're just running around convenience stores, and no one can see them, but can they see the stamps just running around the ground?
Nobody notices these stamps. That's the point.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
And the beauty of the plan is with Crazy Diamond, all of the ones that are thrown out for being damaged or torn or whatever, you just fix that right up.
Yeah, it's a good plan. And there is some really good, funny shots of, like, all 3 of these guys just being showered upon by hundreds of little coupons and stamps, and, like, Okuyasu marveling at this mountain of, 20 yen stamps and discount codes for a video game store, and his eyes just widening and widening more and more. It's so funny.
Precious little Shigechi says, quote, "I have friends now. Friendship is the coolest."
Yeah. Josuke and Okuyasu are constantly complimenting Shigechi because his stand is raking in the cash for them, and
he loves compliments. No one's ever complimented him before this day because he's a weird little troll man.
He's a weird little guy, and you can already tell that the amount of compliments and praise that Shigechi is getting is starting to go to his head a little bit. They've amassed a massive collection of stamps and all these other things, so it's time to try to actually cash this in. So Josuke's the one going into the Kameiyu convenience store to do this, and Okuyasu and Shigechi are just kind of peeking around like a parking sign, sweating, thinking they're about to get busted by the cops or something.
Yeah, the jig is up, baby.
It's like something that is completely innocuous to everyone else, but it's like high stakes for them.
So while they are crouching, watching the store for Josuke to eventually come out, Koichi is watching them.
Yeah, he's just
wondering what his friend is up to with this small, pointy child.
Yeah.
And then Yukiko is watching Koichi, wondering what her crush is doing, looking at his friend, looking at a convenience store. And Koichi does notice her, and that's the end of the chain, but I wish it just went on forever. I wish it was like Rohan being like, yeah, I read about you in his head. And then Mr. Locke is looking at Rohan like, hey, this dude is pretty fucking successful. I bet I could scam his ass.
Yeah.
And it goes to like every character we've seen until it gets to Jotaro is just like, I don't give a shit about what anybody's looking at anybody for.
Yeah. I have to make another phone call about fish. Josuke comes out of the Kameiyu market. He's acting grim, like this, this plan, maybe it didn't work. He's saying like, oh, there's been an unexpected situation. There's a long pregnant pause, and then fucking kablam. It's even more money than they thought. It's 61,500 yen.
Well, even between, he reveals, like, okay, this store with the cash back wasn't the first place he went. The first place he went was, like, some entertainment chain. And they couldn't offer him cash, but they could give him store credit. 400,000 yen worth of free CDs and video games.
Yeah.
And everyone acts like this is a terrible, terrible news. That's 25 PlayStations.
No, yeah, that is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I checked the Japanese price of a PlayStation in 1999. Don't you talk.
And so they're ecstatic that just the stamps for Kameiyu alone is over 61,000 yen.
Yes.
And so like they're all ecstatic. They got fucking spending money for days. And then, they split up the cash. Shigechi has just this big fanned out wad of bills, and he does a 180, spots a hot lady walk down the sidewalk and starts waving the money at her and says, "Hey Toots, you want to have a good time?"
He's a special little man.
It's so fucking funny. Okuyasu and Josuke are immediately like, "No, what are you doing?"
They just grab him and turn him right back around like, you do not do that. No,
calm down, dude. God.
So, obviously, Harvest, one of the most powerful stands we've ever seen. Why not say, hey, Harvest, go look for murder clues? We can solve this in a day.
Yeah, like how vague can you get and it still works? I want to know.
But here is the turn that we all knew was coming. When you make a deal with a 6-year-old, I ignore the truth of the situation and substitute it with my own.
Yeah.
When you make a deal with a 6-year-old, do not expect him to follow the terms of the deal.
Yeah. And so they're walking down the street, and Shigechi's actually holding on to all of the money right now. And they're like, hey, because earlier they agreed on Shigechi would get half and Josuke and Okuyasu would get the other half of whatever money was collected. And they're like, hey, can we get our half of the money? And Shigechi pulls out like a single 10,000 yen bill, and he hands it over to them, not normally, but like pinched between two fingers, the way Japanese people hold shogi pieces, and like with one finger, like his pinky finger flared out, and he looks like he's leaning back and looking down, like with his chin lowered,
even though
like
he's
a
2
fucking,
feet high. Yeah.
Yeah, and whenever he gets into this like personality, he's drawn like a fucking mob boss. It's so funny.
It's so good. It's so good. But you gotta lay off. He only learned about division last week. He's not that good at it yet.
Yeah.
So Josuke is insisting that, hey, this is not the split we worked out. Wait a minute. You got to treat your friends better like that. We had a deal. And this is when he learns about labor power. Because without Harvest, there would be no money. Harvest is entitled to all that it creates. And so yeah, Josuke can just go pound sand, I guess.
So yeah, they've only been given 10,000 yen, and that's all Shigechi is agreeing to give them. They go by a vending machine, and he's like, "Oh, Okuyasu, I won't give you money, but I'll buy you whatever you want."
So he asks for the same drink that he spilled on himself, the inciting incident of the episode.
Yeah,
and Shigechi's like, "Oh, good choice, go have at it," and he doesn't pay.
Yep. And so now they're going back to the park where they had collected a bunch of stamps earlier, and they have a gigantic trash bin full of discarded lottery tickets that they had Harvest collect. And they're starting to sift through these. Like Okuyasu's got this little like book that contains all of like the winning numbers for the past X amount of dates or whatever.
Apparently this collection was Okuyasu's idea. Josuke thought it was a pretty dumb idea, because who throws away a winning lottery ticket? Come on. Anything we can pick up is going to be useless.
And so Okuyasu is the one taking the time to sift through all of these lottery tickets and checking up to see if they actually won anything. And lo and behold, he fucking lands on a winner.
Hell yes. And then a fireworks show starts as everyone starts screaming about, was it 5 million yen jackpot?
Yeah, it's like the third place jackpot. Okuyasu reads the code, 6 digits on the ticket, and then he reads the book. And then he reads the ticket again, and then reads the book's like, okay, that's a winning fucking number. And like his thumb is like shaking and just slowly revealing how much it's worth. And when he sees it's 5 million yen, there's a really funny animation of him basically going completely stiff and then just rolling onto the ground on his back like a flipped turtle.
There's so many turtles. This kid's got a pet turtle, fountain turtle, Suzy Q's turtle.
Yeah, there's also way more, possibly more important turtles in our future watching JoJo. So yeah, they check over the ticket like 8 times because they're just in so much disbelief that they have a $5 million winning ticket. So
once like the shock, the initial celebration ends, Josuke is already spending all the money in his head. He's going to take a trip to Tonio's. He's going to go all over the place.
Yeah, he's going to go overseas. He's going to get a fitted suit for his, I think, I'm trying to remember how the English dub phrased this. I think he says, I'm going to get a sweet new fitted suit for my sexy body.
Yeah. He's feeling good.
Yeah.
He's 1/3 of 5 million yen richer. Hell yes.
Yeah, him and Okuyasu are celebrating, and this episode ends with the cliffhanger of Shigechi, his back turned to them. Shigechi just thinking, those cretins, it's Harvest that collected all those tickets. I'm going to get that money.
Yeah. So they're basically showing like a dark take on the little red hen, right? Like,
yeah.
What if the little red hen was lying and all of their friends actually did help make the bread?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Okuyasu's idea to get the tickets, and he was searching through every single number.
Yeah, he was putting.
That
in
is
work.
valuable work. Somebody has to actually go to the authority because they're not going to give this kid the time of day.
Yeah. And like Josuke probably helped too to repair the tickets. It's a joint effort.
Never mind the pre-existing plane agreement. Like, once again, they reiterated before Okuyasu even found the ticket, it's half for the kid, half for the two of us.
And like, to be honest, that's a pretty good deal for Shigechi.
Pretty good.
Fucking half of it, 2.5 million.
He'll never need milk money again.
Yeah. He can get bullied and mugged every day and he'll still be rolling in cash.
I'm not saying he should be. I'm just saying he could be.
No. He could buy a bodyguard. Episode 19, Shigechi's Harvest, Part 2, begins with the three of them going to the bank.
Yes. They're just gazing upon the edifice of the bank.
This tall lavender bank.
And inside, the lottery man is apparently a bank teller. It's just some guy who works the window. His job is also to issue lottery questions.
Yeah.
But he starts with no questions. He's very congratulatory. He offers up, the check immediately. But then, internal monologue. He's very serious. He's got a plan.
Yeah.
And then after the OP, here comes the questions like, where did you buy the winning ticket? Because these lottery tickets all have, a serial number that can be traced to the point of origin. Mm-hmm. And he says to himself, quote, my teller senses have never failed me, and you hoodlums reek of foul play.
Yeah. I love that the beginning of this episode is like one of those, random, weird, tense JoJo situations that happens, and it's just a bank teller quizzing a bunch of kids.
So they say, of course, we bought it at a store in town, and he counters with, not a single store in Morioh sells lottery tickets. This is the weirdest town in the world. Like, come on.
It's very weird. Morioh has some type of law against lottery tickets?
At this point, my prediction is it's Joseph's. He just forgot to check the numbers in one of his less lucid moments.
Yeah.
And Josuke will collect his next of kin and everything's hunky-dory. And they will shame the teller for doubting him.
All three of the gang here are very nervous. They weren't expecting to be questioned like this. They think they're about to be caught at any moment. They actually see the door to the room they're in opens just a tiny bit, and there's a security guard on the other side listening. And so they're trying to say, like, oh, our mistake. We didn't buy it in Morioh. We forgot where we bought it. It's been so long since we bought it. The bank teller makes the situation even worse. He reveals, hey, by the way, kids, if you just turn the lottery ticket around, there's like a little field here where the person who bought the ticket can write their name and phone number. And it's not any of your names. So now they got to come up with an excuse for that. Wait, why were there so many lottery tickets in a town that doesn't sell lottery tickets? I don't know.
Everybody just driving out to S City for...
Maybe Harvest went out really far and wide?
I love Josuke just saying, oh, geez, how did none of us remember to check that?
Yeah. The name of the guy who bought the ticket and wrote his name in the back is Ichiro Morishita.
And so the teller just starts dialing that phone number, and everyone begins hyperventilating and sweating out of their skin. At that point, seeing that reaction, you can just say, this ain't your ticket. I don't have to finish this phone call. Like, I know.
So, yeah, the bank teller is slowly dialing the number and continuing to say other things he's going to have to do to validate this winning ticket. And, we might have to do handwriting analysis on the note back here. Because Josuke's claiming that the name and phone number is just one of his friends.
Yeah.
He was getting his friend's phone number and just kind of accidentally wrote it on the back of the lottery.
It was just the paper he had on hand. Yeah. And it says phone number right there. So that's why I wrote my friend's phone number, obviously.
Yeah.
So the phone picks up and a man answers and he's like, oh yeah, I did buy a lottery ticket. I wonder where that went. You found it? That's fantastic. And back to the bank teller's internal monologue. Now I've got you dunderheaded delinquents.
Yeah.
Some people love their jobs. Some people love their jobs so much.
Yeah, this dude loves being a fucking bank teller.
Because sometimes he gets to stick it to those damn kids.
Yeah.
Now Crazy Diamond. Crazy Diamond has done so many things over its adventures so far. But this one suggests we've still only been scratching the surface of its capabilities.
Yeah. Josuke can repair things to the way they were. We've also seen that he can re-scramble the structure of an object. as the bank teller is on the phone with this Morishita guy, Crazy Diamond shoots out, and everyone else who can see stands goes, "Oh shit!" And Crazy Diamond punches the lottery ticket, and he specifically is only punching the ink of the name written on the note, which causes some of the ink to reshape into a different character.
Yeah. He just gives this guy a different first initial and changes the last name a little bit and transposes some of the numbers of the phone number.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So now when the bank teller is confirming, he says the name that he's reading, which is not the name of the man he called. So he's like, oh, I guess it was my mistake. I have to try this play again with this phone number, make sure I've got it quote unquote right this time. And that number does not exist. It doesn't connect. So he can't prove anything with it anymore.
Yeah. I love one of the crazier uses of Josuke's stand is to just fuck up a lottery ticket.
He could just turn any lottery ticket into a winner.
Oh, God, I guess he could then, yeah. It's just Josuke's been just enough of a good boy to not do it.
I guess checking it against the serial number would cause some problems. Solvable problems for Crazy Diamond, to be sure, but some problems.
Yeah. The bank teller basically just admits defeat and goes like, okay, I guess this fucking lottery winning ticket is yours. And so now they have left the bank and they've been given a promissory note because it takes 3 days for the bank to get the payment ready. And so they just got to hold on to this note until then.
I love that the bank gave them a check and it's like, don't cash this until the first of the month, though, please. You're the fucking bank, though.
You're the bank. So Shigechi's the one holding on to the note all of a sudden. And they're both like, hey, what the fuck, dude? We again promised on exactly the distribution of money here.
And again, this is an easy fix. You just rip it to shreds and hold it hostage with Crazy Diamond's ability.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing.
Shigechi tries to bribe them by just giving each of them a $10,000 or a 10,000 yen bill.
And this is when Okuyasu lays out a child.
Okuyasu fucking snaps and he decks this kid across the face and just flattens him out.
He has lost all of his baby teeth now. They're all gone.
Yeah. And so Josuke yells at Okuyasu, is like, you didn't have to take it this far, and he feels really bad that Shigechi's been socked in the face, and he's apologizing to him, but he does say, this is getting really out of hand. Let's just distribute the money like agreed, and to make this easier, we'll hold on to the note until 3 days from now, and then we can go our separate ways after we get the money.
And then he and Okuyasu do the money dance.
Yeah, the money dance. I love it.
I love the money dance. They're just bonking each other's forearms with their forearms. It's sort of like patty cake, but with closed fists.
Yeah. And they are just so excited that they're going to be rich soon. As they're doing that, one of the little guys from Harvest is perched up on Okuyasu's shoulder. Mm-hmm. Shigechi is talking through the stand like, hey, I fucking heard all of that with my stand. I'm going to fucking show you what happens when you mess with me. And then Harvest tears out a chunk of Okuyasu's ear. Just rips it right off.
And then hops away with the check, and Shigechi just threatens their lives. Nobody's getting a penny out of him upon penalty of death.
Yeah. And so Harvest also steals the note back from them. It's on. It's time to fight for real. But wait, Okuyasu's legs feel weird.
Quote, something weird's happening in my pants.
Yeah.
Josuke doesn't quite get what he's talking about, what he means. He's just like, oh, you've got an itch, just scratch it, whatever. We got something to do here. Even though he can clearly see that Okuyasu's pants are exploding. It looks like 20 large hamsters are trying to jump out of the pants in every direction.
Yeah.
And like the way that his pants are like very dark and kind of shiny, it looks like a ferrofluid under magnets, actually,
yes, yeah.
the way his pants are moving.
And so Okuyasu falls to the ground and he lifts up his pant legs, and there are dozens of Harvest just tearing, either biting, either biting or punching flesh off of his legs, or even just like grabbing and ripping the flesh off of his fucking legs.
They're fucking working the roast beef station at the Old Country Buffet on his legs.
That's what it looks like. It's so gross. Shigechi fucking runs off. He's pretty fast, actually.
Yeah. Crazy Diamond and the Hand are trying to swat at these stands, but it's the classic swarm problem. They're outnumbered. Nothing you do to one of them is going to solve anything. Yeah. We get our mid-episode title card. It's Crazy Diamond's turn again. And so back in the action, this little idiot imp has figured out some of the wildest uses for its stand.
Oh, it's so good.
He just falls over on his back stiff and onto a bed of harvest that runs with him while passing him forward. And so he's continually like dispersing the harvest swarms that he passes over and then resummoning them ahead of him so that they're running forward while passing him forward continually like tank treads.
Yeah. Yes.
Those two vectors of motion combined, he's going just incredibly fast.
And it allows him to go straight up vertical surfaces like buildings.
Yeah, he comes around a corner through an alley and scares a cat and then scales the wall of this like condo building.
At like lightning speed. It's so good.
So, two can play at this game. Crazy Diamond and the Hand throw one another up all of the balconies and fire escapes of this condo building, one floor at a time, which also throws the two boys, their users, along with.
Some fun stand-based traversal in this part.
It's fucking Cirque du Soleil-ass thing the Hand and Crazy Diamond are doing.
And so everyone's on top of these buildings now, and Shigechi crosses from one building to another by running across like a pipe that connects the two buildings. There's two of these pipes.
And the rest of this fight I love because it is just, it started with the escape plan really, but it's just a showcase for cool things these stands can do.
Yeah. So like Josuke and Okuyasu are also crossing these pipes that connect the buildings, but the pipes collapse as they're running across them because, Harvest can collect anything. And so Harvest has collected all of the nuts and bolts from these pipes. And so the pipes aren't connected to anything.
So they just fall off in free fall until Crazy Diamond does the glowy touch on the pipe to reassemble it back into place, lifting the boys back up.
And they do a cool pose too. Leaning real hard in those pipes.
So now Josuke starts seeing triple, and he collapses.
Like, he's all fucked up. He's got real bad balance. His face is flushed all of a sudden.
So Shigechi announces what he did. He commanded some of Harvest to go collect some booze. He robbed the liquor store, and then they used their pointy little proboscises to inject alcohol into both Josuke and Okuyasu intravenously.
Yeah, so they're fucked up drunk now.
Fucked up so bad. Like, okay, I didn't check, but this has to be so bad for you, right?
This has to be really bad. Like, this
has to be some, like, pure grain alcohol, like any, like, flavorings or like, stuff leached out of the oak barrels for while aging. It's gotta be real bad to just be in your blood, right?
Yes, yeah. This is, like, go to the hospital immediately, I think. This is, like...
And the worst thing is, Okuyasu is straight edge for life.
Yeah.
You can't do this to my boy.
Oh, man. So yeah, they're just both utterly shit-faced. They can't get up off the ground. They can't fight. And Shigechi is saying, like, damn, basically gloating over them. Both these guys have Harvest clinging to, every part of their body. And there's a single Harvest that clings onto Okuyasu's face, winds up a punch, pulls back, and just plunges its fist into Okuyasu's eyeball.
Yeah, so he's lost an eye. It's basically gouged out an eye. And now he is ready to grovel in order to save both of them. And he offers what little money he has. Not just giving back, his claim on what he thought he was owed. No, just everything out of his fucking pockets. Just to offer penance to the great Shigechi.
Yeah. Okuyasu is begging and groveling, and he's like trying to wink, nudge, nudge to Josuke, like, play along.
So Shigechi, of course, is subject to all of this flattery. Again, compliments work on him real good. Anything he doesn't take as a compliment throws him off the handle into a rage. But now he's like, yeah, let me get closer and get that money. And then at the very last second, he realizes he's being baited. But he's still close enough for the hand to like void teleport and pull the promissory note out of Shigechi's hands, and it floats on a little bit of breeze into Josuke's hands. Yep.
Josuke does the thing that anybody who's watching this has this idea, and Josuke thankfully does the thing.
Yep.
He obliterates this promissory note, tears it up into tiny little pieces, and scatters it to the wind, because the only way this note can be put back together now is with the power of Crazy Diamond.
But even this is not enough to get Shigechi to cooperate. No, he'll figure out another way to put this back together, because only Harvest is strong enough to get all the pieces in the first place. So now all of Harvest is gone to collect these teeny itty bitty shreds flying away on the breeze. But this leaves him utterly defenseless. Now there's no more little Harvest left to protect him from furious punching.
Yep. So he just gets punched hard. Not by a stand. Josuke just punches him.
So they basically beat his ass. These teenagers are bullying a small 6-year-old child.
Oh my god. And like while they're looming over him just as they are about to beat him up, they're still shit-faced. They're like wobbling back and forth a ton.
It's the only mitigating circumstance to explain why they think this is a good idea. But they make him cry uncle, essentially. He gives in and honors, quote, Okuyasu the Great. Yes. And then they say, that's our special little man.
Yeah. Oh, man. There's a point where Shigechi's nose has been bloodied a little bit. He's been bopped in the head a couple of times as Josuke is telling Shigechi, like, you're being a fucking dick, quit it. Where Shigechi, tears well up, the camera zooms in on him, and then boop, over a single frame, he snaps back into like special little boy mode. And he's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was being so greedy, and that was really messing up with my personality. I'm so sorry I was so mean to all of you guys.
Yeah, I do love getting parenting lessons from Josuke, the guy who won't even go into a baby store. So the problem here, though, that we've all hit is that 5 million is not divisible by 3. Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do here, but...
Yeah, I don't know. But Harvest does recollect all of the shredded little bits of the note, put it back together with Crazy Diamond, and they actually do get the 5 million yen from the bank. And there is a point where Shigechi gets a little shitty again and says, actually, my harvest is like 500 strong, so really this money should be divided up by each individual stand as well. 502 also does not divide evenly into 5 million yen, so we're back at square one. But watch it, Shige. Okay, I'm a special little man. And so as they walk away with their earnings, the narrator chimes in to insist that 1 2/3 million yen is too much money for a high schooler to have. Well, you know what? Nobody asked you. Go host your radio show. Get out of here. I think the last thing the narrator says after saying that is, c'est la vie. Well, the narrator actually says to be continued for the first time ever. Oh, right. He says to be continued too. Yeah. Speaking of changes in the conclusion, Shigechi is also in the end credits. Yeah. Earlier, but before we wrap up, I did promise that I found some facts about Shigechi's English voice. Ooh, yeah, what is it? In 1999, he was in a short-run musical in Los Angeles called White Trash Wins Lotto. Lottery? What? What the fuck? It was by independent music artist Andy Preboy, and he played the lead role, either Axl Rose or a heavily Axl Rose-inspired character, depending on who you ask. Okay. It's sort of a biopic of, him coming up and hitting it big in the music industry during the hair metal era. It has
not much to do with anything.
Okay.
But that does make him one of very few JoJo's actors to appear on the Conan O'Brien show.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Yeah, you can see like a 3-song medley they put together as the musical guest one time. Some episode dating from the year 2000.
That's great.
And one last thing, I guess. Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh, shit. That's when this episode's coming out. Damn.
I believe this is the first episode to come out in the year 2022.
Oh, man. I don't want to get older.
It worked for Jotaro.
It did work for Jotaro, actually. He got younger with age. Maybe that'll happen to me.
Well, I need you to look real close at some sharks.
That's the key to youth.
Apparently, his landmark work was working with whales and sharks.
Yes.
And I wonder how much of it came from him seeing the inside of a shark very early in his globetrotting.
Right, he did punch the shit out of a shark. God, was that and him fighting Dark Blue Moon and almost drowning in the ocean what got him interested in fish?
The whole ocean is mine now. I claim it by right of urine.
Yeah, that's the end of the 3 episodes for today's podcast. I think these are all really solid episodes. Shigechi's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Rohan Kishibe's adventure is a really important episode that sets the rest of part 4 up, basically. Reimi's cool, too.
Yeah, like, if I was the fanfic type, I would definitely be writing cute little stories about, like, Koichi going to visit Reimi and, like, playing songs from the last 16 years she hasn't heard.
Oh, yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, just, like, cute, sweet stuff like that.
Yeah. Because Reimi's range isn't anywhere beyond the Osen convenience store, so anything that's happening she can only learn about via that store, I guess.
She's like the Jay and Silent Bob of Morioh. She's just hanging out on the curb.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
The dog is Silent Bob.
Yeah. I love Shigechi. He's a fun, weird little guy. Like I was saying before we started the podcast, he really feels like the JoJo version of Bobby Hill to me.
Absolutely. Oh my God, Shigechi starting a sketch comedy group with his mom and his dad's coworkers.
During the stand fight in this, it would just be Shigechi using his ultimate technique of saying, "That's my purse, I don't know you," and kicking Okuyasu in the balls.
I think you mean headbutting.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a which would be bad with all the spikes. That'd be very bad.
Oh, yeah, that'd be bad, actually.
Again, just the problems of adaptation did hamstring Rohan Kishibe's adventure a bit, but boy, they worked through it like champs. That episode could have been trash, but it was pretty great, even with those difficulties laid on it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's our first real look at the new antagonist of part 4.
And he makes such an impression in such a short time.
Yeah,
and like it really does speak to the voice acting, the direction, the storyboarding, everything coming together. Like, in a world of the creepiest fucking people in this town, he is something else entirely still.
Yeah, like Dio is an extremely fun, memorable villain in Stardust in JoJo.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call him creepy.
He's camp. The dude's fucking
absolutely
over the top. When we finally get around to later in the show, when we get to see more of Kira and what his character is, he's such an interesting contrast to Dio.
Every moment is just, what is wrong with you? How does your brain work? What is your deal?
Yeah, like this episode, you only get to see Kira doing shit for like 60 seconds, 90 seconds total, and it leaves a huge impression on you for being like, this guy is fucked up. With that small bit, like I feel like there's so many stories that try to have some type of creepy serial killer type character, and a lot of the time they go overboard or they just can't quite nail it, and so it's just kind of cheesy and like too try hard almost. Like, I'm trying to make a guy who's fucked up,
and it's so much easier in like episodic things where like there are a lot of great serial killers in Fringe, but I think if they had to like carry a season or even like a 4-episode plot, I don't think I'd like any of them that much.
Yeah, this show does an incredible job of making a serial killer character who is one, like, interesting enough to carry an entire season, and is also like one of the only times I've seen someone write a character like that where it truly feels like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? In a way that's just like, ugh, it actually gets under my skin, this guy, but that's for later. But yeah, I guess next week we'll see you with another 3 episodes. We're getting into the middle of the show now, with the first episode of the upcoming 3 being called Yukako Yamagishi Dreams of Cinderella.
Aww.
We're getting a Yukako episode, which I'm very happy for. I love Yukako.
She's not going to take well to Raimi, I tell you what.
Don't show her the ghost girl. She'll figure out a way to kill her.
And that will be followed by, oh boy, Yoshikage Kira Wants to Live Quietly, parts 1 and 2.
Yup.
And you know what? I get that vibe. He seems like a pretty quiet guy, and maybe that's one of the worst parts.
Yeah, I cannot wait for those 2 episodes. They are incredible. But yeah, until next week. You got any friends that want to know about JoJo? Please, tell them about this show. I think it's a pretty decent way to experience the show, especially if you've never really known much about it. We're on the usual places.
It's a brand new year. We're in a brand new every week seems like a brand new beginning for part 4. Some more than others. And this one, we've seen the face and name of our final antagonist.
Yep. But yeah, just let people know about the show. It's word of mouth is how this stuff grows a lot of the time, If you want to support us, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/ChipandEroticus. The money just helps us pay bills and keep making this stuff without having to worry about other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, until then, we'll see you next week.
To be continued.
Later.
I'm quoting the narrator when I say that, yeah.